here's a trivia question for you. What is Springboro's first craft brewery? Got your answer? It's Crooked Handle, established in 2015. Hi, I'm Maureen Russell Hodson, and this is Springboro Business Matters. We are here at Crooked Handle along with owner Jason Moore. Hey, Jason.
Hi there.
So, Crooked Handle, before we get into the actual importance of beer making, how did Crooked Handle, how did that name come about?
Well, we were homebrewing pretty aggressively at the time. My brother-in-law had got me into it, and we took a trip out to Colorado to the Great American Beer Fest, which is a huge, I think still the largest craft beer fest in the country. So we were out there, and we were with some friend of ours, fellow homebrewer Curtis Stadsvold, who was as passionate about the craft beer scene as we were, and we decided, you know, let's do it. Let's try and open a brewery. So we were in the hotel room after Great American Beer Fest. May have had a couple beers, and we get on LegalZoom. And the first thing they ask when you fill out an LLC is, "What's the name? What's the name of the business going to be?" Right. So here we are. What are we going to call this thing? So backing up a little bit, Curtis was still is an active duty Air Force EOD tech, and he was deployed. And he comes home and decides, you know what, we need a wooden mash paddle. We need to stop using those little metal short spoons. We can't mix any grain in. So he starts working on this thing, a wooden mash paddle, which is still being used today here at the Springboro location. And he holds it up, and it's crooked. So his bomb diffusing skills is much better than his woodworking skills. And we ended up with this crooked handle. So we had made many beers using this crooked handle. And he said, well, what about Crooked Handle Brewing Company? You guys make fun of me all the time about that crooked mash paddle, and we made all that beer with it, so Crooked Handle Brewing Company. So, all right, it stuck. We couldn't think of anything better, and we went with it. Took off LLC from there, and then started putting a business plan together. And a few years after that, here we end up in Springboro in 2015.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah,
and
fun story.
No one else will have the name like Crooked Handle. You don't
Or
have
the
to worry
story.
about that, right?
For sure, the story. Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
So tell us about your location here. So you're actually brewing beer, is that the right term?
Yep.
Here on site, right?
We do. Yeah, we found this location. We had met with DLM at Washington Square, property manager, and Todd Templin, the beer and wine guy, and a few other managers. And we were hoping they had a closet for us or a basement somewhere we could just put up a small system, start making some beer, and try and get our name out there. And Melissa said, why don't you guys meet me in Springboro in a couple days, and I think I have a space that might work out for you. And we saw this, and they just bent over backwards to get us here, and the city was fantastic, and we were able to start construction on this early 2015, and then we actually got open Christmas Day of 2015.
So your official address is North Main Street,
It is.
right? But you call this the Settlers Walk Shopping Plaza, the DLM Shopping Plaza?
I call it DLM, but it is technically the Settlers Walk. I mean, yeah, they're awesome neighbors, and you couldn't ask for a better group here to be with, so it's been fantastic.
Well, this is an awesome location, and it's such a friendly place. I don't want to compare it with Cheers, but
Sure.
a lot of times when you come in and you see a lot of familiar faces,
Yeah.
you've got a lot of regulars, but you have a lot of new folks who come in aren't really sure what's going on in here. Not only do you have a great selection of beer, but you have a really good menu as well.
Yeah, we opened this place with 4 beers, believe it or not, in 2015, and then worked our way through. I think the second person that came in here wanted to know if we had wine, so we were never going to do anything but beer, right? Our beer is going to be great, just like Colorado. They're going to come, they're going to drink all of our beer, and it's going to be awesome. And then we quickly learned that you need some variety, so we've slowly added things as we went along, from wine to a full bar, craft cocktails. We have some of the best cocktails in town for sure, and it's been quite an experience. And then adding a kitchen after COVID was...
Well, we were saying Springboro loves to eat and drink,
Yes.
but Springboro really likes to have a variety of menu, and
Yeah.
you've got that, right?
Yeah, we keep it changing. We do new features every week, and then our standard menu is also pretty all scratch made. We make all our own sauces, all our own dressings, hand patting out burgers. It's all done very well, as well as we can do it.
Well, walk us through how you actually make beer, because from the time that you start, whatever, early in the morning to the time it's served at the bar,
Sure.
there's a lot of steps that go into that, right?
Yeah, so we call it grain to glass. So we're taking malted barley. We get it shipped in from a Chicago warehouse, the majority of it. And then you start the day with mixing that with hot water. So it's very specific temperature, a very specific amount of water, a very specific type of grain will give you a mash bill or a base to your beer. And we convert the enzymes into starches and sugars and things that yeast will be able to eat and create fermentation and ultimately alcohol. So once that process starts, we'll go through a mashing process. It takes about 45 minutes to an hour, and that's pulling all those sugars out of the grain and getting us what we call wort, which is essentially sugar water. And then we'll boil that for an hour to 90 minutes and throw in hops and spices and parts of a Christmas tree or whatever it is we're doing that particular day. And we'll boil it down for an hour, and then we'll transfer it into a fermenter and pitch some yeast. And then from there, we're precisely controlling the temperatures of the fermentation, and that takes about 9 days. And then we can lower the temperature, we call it crashing it, and then it'll go into a bright tank, which is another move, and then it'll carbonate from there, and we'll go to cans or kegs. So we're canning here as well as offering kegs. So the whole process is about 9 to 12 days, depending on the type of beer, from when I open the door to when it goes on the wall to start pouring it.
So on any given day, how many different varieties of beer would you have?
We normally have, I believe, 9 to 10 of our own, typically, and then we'll run through some seasonals throughout the year. And then we also offer guest taps, wine, cider, some other stuff like that that we don't actually make here. So typically a decent amount, 10 to 14 or so.
What's the best seller here? What do we like to drink the most?
Probably Burro Blonde would be one of the top ones here, and then our peanut butter porter, surprisingly, is another one that people really like. The Burro Blonde is a recipe we've been brewing at home. It started probably 15 years ago. That recipe hasn't changed much in all that time, other than the size of the equipment that we're doing it on. So that's been a real popular beer here. And then the Trinity Haze would probably be right up there with it. Those three would be our top.
Do you ever tweak a recipe or change it in any way?
Rarely. Once we have it down, you pretty much keep it, because consistency is the key. So once you've had that beer once and you love it, you don't want to come in a month later and have it be completely different. I mean, so you want to be consistent. So all of our process over there is very precise. Take a lot of notes. Everything's tracked from pH levels to down to sugar content. It's pretty specific. So
how often do you introduce a new beer then?
We usually do a couple a year. Honestly, it's just keeping up with the core beers or the flagships.
Yeah.
Keep us pretty busy. And then now that we're canning, so we're brewing for both cans and package. So we try to do a couple a year, but our main focus is keeping those core beers going and keeping the taps full.
So you can get it on tap here, but you can also go out at different locations and buy it in cans.
Yeah, we're undrafted a few places, like UD Arena has us every year. Ren Fest has us all year long, cans and draft. All the DLMs have us in cans, Springboro wine. There's a couple golf courses that keep us on throughout the year. We primarily focus on tap room because that's kind of our bread and butter, and then we push out distribution mainly for marketing and just to get our brand out there a little bit more. But here's where we want to focus.
You focus here, but boy, you continue to grow because you've got something happening almost every night. Someone can come in here and hear live music. You've got trivia. Tell us about your schedule.
We do. We do live music here twice a week, every Thursday and Friday. We have a pretty great lineup of artists that we've selected over the years of just seeing what works and what doesn't, trying to keep the sound levels right so everybody's comfortable, still being able to talk and have a conversation while having some great music in the background. We do trivias. The Todd Moore Music Bingo Show is insanely popular. Scott Hall does a trivia here throughout the winter. And then we're getting ready to start just joshing around trivia on Sundays here, which has been very popular at their other location.
And then if music might be a little bit too loud, you've opened up this new room.
We do, yeah.
Event center over there.
Yeah, we took over the Travel Authority space late last year, and we use it for overflow, and then also private events that can be booked through our website. And it's been a great addition. It's something we've really missed out on having for the first 6 or 7 years. We're getting calls every week, hey, can I book this party at 30 or 40? And for years we've told them no because we just didn't have the space, and now we have that opportunity to let those folks come in and have a great time, great space.
And your website's a really good place for people to go and see some menu options, some ideas about how many people you can fit and other information like that.
Yeah, exactly. We have all the food packages, all the pricing on the website, the calendar of events for both locations. The food menus are on there, the drink menus, it all stays up to date.
So this is the flagship store, but you did open a second spot.
We did, yeah, we did. Piqua, Ohio came to us just before COVID hit, and we were talking with some developers. They were wanting an anchor to their Lock 9 Park redevelopment, and they wanted a brewery there. So we came in and met with the city over the course of a year, and we're just about ready to sign the contract with the developer when COVID shut us down. And so put that on hold for a minute. But now we've been open in Piqua for a little over a year. Lock 9 Park redevelopment is going to be done in July, so things are moving along and it's jamming up there. It's almost an 11,000 square foot building with a much larger event space and a bigger production facility, so it's been a very good move for us.
Well, we're delighted to have you here in Springboro and that you're doing so well. You've really become a site for a lot of folks to come by. Review your hours for us.
Here in Springboro, we're closed on Mondays. Tuesday through Thursday, we open at 4 to 10. Friday and Saturday, it's 1 to 11, and then Sunday, it's 1 to 8.
Okay, so, and again, the website's probably the best place to go just to find out about specials and
Yep.
what's happening, things like that. You also have your schedule of events there as well.
Absolutely, yeah. Full event calendar for both locations, and then any tickets for special events can also be purchased through the website.
Well, something else that always strikes me when I'm here is the friendliness of your staff. You have a great staff.
We hear that all the time, and
Yeah.
it's one of the best compliments, and I love sharing that with them. They do a great job, from the guys in the kitchen cranking out the food and coming up with the new specials and features, and the folks up front here, they do a really great job. We're so proud of them.
I asked about the number one beer, and I guess it's beers because you have a lot. What's the favorite food here? What do people really like to come in and order?
Probably our Cuban is up there. Cuban and wings. We smoke our own wings here, and then flash fry them to finish. So it's a really nice product. And then usually I get burgers. I love our burgers.
I do too.
If I'm not getting wings. I mean, they're hand patted, half pound. I mean, all fresh toppings. It's good stuff. But the wings are probably the most popular, and the Cuban would be the hottest sandwich for sure.
So what's next? What's next on your plan?
Ooh. Well, if you keep asking if we're going to do number 3, we haven't got that far along yet. Once Pickle gets going and this park gets fully up and operational, we're going to see what that's like. But you never say never. Pickle came to us, and Springboro came to us basically through DLM, and we always keep our ear to the ground and try to grow organically and make sense when it makes sense.
One of the great things I love about Springboro is that everybody works together, and so a lot of the brewery bar owners got together, and you just kicked off a new event for St. Patrick's Day, right?
We did.
That was a little bit popular, wasn't it?
It was wildly popular. Yeah, that was quite the day. So the guys from the Springboro Eagles came to us because they were going to do a St. Patty's event, and then they said, why don't we pull in all the locals, establishment, and try to keep people in Springboro instead of having to drive downtown, deal with parking, deal with trying to get home. Why don't we do something here? So we partnered up and started having those conversations probably in October of last year. So a lot of planning went into this to make it successful, and we just started talking and working it out. And then I'm very familiar with stamp card pub crawls or passports, which we do. I'm part of the Dayton Ale Trail coordination, and then we do a monthly pub crawl in Pickwood where you go around and get a stamp. So I kind of brought that element to it, and then somebody brought up transportation, so let's give these people rides. So we had Huey's Transit running around 3 buses all day long, bringing people from venue to venue, and bands and entertainment and great food, and it was...
And no incidents, right?
No incidents. No, in fact, the city manager emailed us, I think the following week, and said how awesome it went, and please, if you're going to do it again, if they can help in any way, they'd love that we're working together and collaborating, and it went fantastic.
So you've got a few more events up your sleeve that you're thinking about.
We're working on it. Yeah, we're working on it. We're going to try and at least get one more in, and then, of course, St. Patty's will be on a Monday next year, so look out for that. We are going to stay on the 17th and keep it traditional, so we'll have the same deal, same buses, probably some more buses this time running around, and same group coming together, doing it again. It's going to be great.
Well, will you be willing to play our Fast Five? We'd like to talk with our businesses about.
Sure.
Okay, so here we go. If I weren't in the restaurant, I'll say / beer business, I would be.
Well, I never thought I'd be in the restaurant business. I said I would never do that. And here I am. Now I am too. Well, thankfully, we have some great partners that help with that as well. If I would probably still be in the horse business. I came from a equestrian background as a farrier for 25 years, and my wife was a professional horse trainer for all of her life. I would probably still be doing that if it wasn't.
Well, that should be our next show. Wow, that's really interesting.
It's quite a change from that to this.
Big jump to get into the beer business.
Yeah, we both gave that up full time and took this on in, I think, November of 2015. We completely left that industry, and it's been here ever since. So, yeah, big change.
I find the business climate in Springboro to be.
Oh, it's amazing. Yeah, very welcoming. Everybody's friendly. It's been a great experience being here. Yeah, we love Springboro. We moved to Springboro. My wife and I live here. We're kind of over behind Heather's, and we couldn't imagine being anywhere else. It's a great place.
The best thing about my job is?
I would say all the new people we've met along the way, and being able to provide great jobs and livelihoods for, I think we're up to 20, 25 employees at this point between both locations, providing benefits and great hours. It's been good just having the ability to provide for other people, and then just seeing happy faces in here, you know, trying your food, trying your drinks, and telling their friends about it, and leaving an awesome Google review or whatever the case may be. But just the people, I mean, just being part of something and being part of an industry that's very welcoming. They say that we're all in competition, but it never feels that way in the brewery world. We're just all friends. I mean, I talk to the owners of Warped Wing literally daily. I mean, we're all very close. And
I'd imagine there's a lot of tips and tricks of the trade that you can share with each other.
Yeah, it's been really good. You don't find that in any other industry. The horse business was certainly not like that. It was very cutthroat and completely different than what we're finding here. And it's really awesome to be part of something.
Well, what can't be settled over a cold glass of beer,
right? It's a good way to start, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a good way to start.
My favorite place in Springboro is?
Probably my house
Okay.
with the dogs.
We're all invited to go, is that?
Sure, yeah. If I'm not at home, we're usually here in Piqua. We love hitting up spots that have live music. So you'll find us at Mr. Burroughs a lot, at the Barrel, Heather's throughout the summer on the patio. We just love places that have live music. We really like to support those folks, and so that's probably our pastime is going out and checking out new bands if we're not actually at the brewery.
And finally, one word that describes Springboro is?
I would just say welcoming. I mean, it's just a great community, very friendly. It's a great place to be, a great place to live. It's an awesome place to have a business, and we're very thankful and fortunate.
Did you ever think when you were in that hotel room, however many years ago, that it would parlay into something like this? It's
pretty amazing to be able to turn a hobby into a dream, into a business, into yeah, it's crazy. It's been a whirlwind, and we're very fortunate that we've put ourselves around some great people and great communities, and it's been quite the ride.
Well, we're glad that we're a little part of it here in Springboro. For more information, I think your website's probably the best place to go.
Absolutely, yeah. Crookedhandle.com, and then of course we're on all the socials.
All
Facebook,
socials.
Insta, yeah, all that fun stuff. But the Facebook has all the up-to-date stuff along with the website. So.
All right, well, I'll have to get in here for trivia.
Yeah, the music bingo is a blast, and then the trivia is going to be something fun too that we're starting back up. But that music bingo show, if you haven't been to it, that is a good time. Yeah, really good time.
And as we said, nothing beats a burger and a cold.
You got it. You got it.
Jason, thanks so much for sharing your story with us. For more information, you can always visit their website or social, or check us out, ci.springboro.oh.us. We hope to see you here at Crooked Handle.